This is a Fox News alert. Tonight, a U.S. Marine is still sitting in a Mexican jail. That's despite a court hearing today. And in a stunning twist, Sergeant Andrew Tamarisi fired his lawyer, and that was only hours before that hearing. And that means a delay in the case. The fired lawyer speaking outside the courthouse.
We had some discussions about how information should be presented, okay? About how information should be presented. Basically, that was one of the issues.
She said that you told him to lie. What's your response to it?
My response to that is no. Okay, but I don't want to get into that. We've had our differences about how things happen. We know what happened when we met with him. He was obviously looking very shaken up, and I mean, that's it.
What is the reason that they need to change?
I think it's probably, look, I haven't gotten any reason. I'm assuming that they want to have somebody that they feel more comfortable with. And that's the bottom line. And like I said, I have to respect whatever decision they make. Next step is lawyer has to come in, meet with us. We have to transfer over all the information, documents, records, talk to him about where we're heading towards in terms of strategy. I think the new lawyer that's coming in, it probably knows what direction we're heading towards. So I think probably some sort of continuation that we were doing.
So will the lawyer switch help or hurt the Marines case? Joining us, civil rights lawyer Gloria Allred and defense lawyer Ted Williams. Gloria, first to you. It's been almost 2 months. In the United States, he would get an opportunity of bail. That's not the system in Mexico. I think you should have a full, fair, fast hearing, but things certainly are not moving quickly. Your thoughts on this?
Well, that's correct, Greta. And, of course, in the United States, the defendant would have a right to a speedy trial. Of course, a defendant can also waive and give up his right to a speedy trial because it is his right and not the prosecution's right. That may or may not apply in Mexico, but here there's this whole new wrinkle of a new attorney coming in because the allegation by this Marine appears to be that his former attorney, Mr. Osuna, in fact caused him to lie. If, in fact, that is true, and if Mr. Osuna wanted him to represent that he was never in Mexico before, which is what is alleged, and then, of course, it turns out there's evidence that he had been in Mexico before, it makes the defendant look really bad. So, of course, Mr. Osuna is not really responding to whether or not he asked his client to lie. He's trying to put that aside. I don't think he wants to portray his client in a bad light. He wants to continue to portray him in the best possible light, which really is his duty. But now that Sergeant's changed attorneys, that appears to be a good thing. Hopefully the new attorney will be able to do something more for him.
Ted, I'm trying to figure this out. I mean, you know, okay, first of all, I've got this email which tends to corroborate that the lawyer asked him to lie. So that's number one. But even beyond that, even if he had been in Mexico several times before, that doesn't mean that you can't make a mistake on a turn, end up in Mexico, announce I've got guns that are legal in the United States, you know, and be accidentally in the country.
Well, let me start off, Greta, by saying that I am a veteran of the Army and of the Armed Forces of the United States, and we owe you, Greta Van Susteren, a great debt because before you, there was not a lot of attention being provided in this case. And as a result of that, and now answering your question, absolutely anybody can make a mistake. I saw how you went into that voter area. I saw the U-turn and how that sign was misrepresented and out of place. The thing about it is, though, if a family, if Sergeant Tamarisi does not feel comfortable with his lawyer, he did the right and proper thing. All we have as lawyers is our integrity. And the bottom line is, if a lawyer told him to lie, that's wrong, absolutely wrong.
It seems to me, though, Ted, I mean, the thing is that, like, you know, is that we need a fact-finding process. Now, it's too bad that he's changed lawyers because that's now delayed it. But he's been there 60 days, and just give him a full, fair, fact-finding hearing so at least we can find out, you know, the exact details. We've gone out and done the legwork, and this is what our investigation shows or tends to show. But I mean, get the process going, not just languish in a prison in a foreign country.
No, you're absolutely right.
The thing is, Greta, however, is that Greta, that his new attorney obviously needs time to be
No,
brought
I
up to
understand
speed
that.
to be able to prepare the case.
I totally understand that. I think it's an unfortunate wrinkle, but still, I mean, like, you know, that doesn't mean they can't, like, the judge can't just look at it. I mean, it's not that, this is not a complicated case. Just look at it and make a decision. Don't just hold them if there's no reason to, but look at the thing and fast track it.
You're absolutely right. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. I'm sure that the judges have been to that venue. They've seen that sign. They've seen this show. They've seen other shows where that sign would confuse anyone. So they could make a decision and get that kid back home.
And let's not forget something called prosecutorial discretion, Gloria. Is it really worth it? They don't think he was smuggling. They're not charging him with smuggling. They're charging him with possession, which is unlawful in Mexico but lawful in the United States, apparently. Is it really worth it? I mean, prosecutors exercise discretion all the time. Is this really the one to keep in a prison and to have the Mexican taxpayers pay for or send him home?
Well, of course, we would, being on the side of the Marine, want the prosecutor to exercise prosecutorial discretion against prosecuting him. If, however, he is being prosecuted, we want him to have due process rights. We want him to be able to have an attorney who can be fully prepared to cross-examine all of the witnesses against him, to present evidence, to present the 911 call that he made, which appears to indicate that he did make an accidental turn into Mexico, and and to be able to do that as quickly as possible.
And I'm going to take the last word.
All we're talking about is a wrong turn.
I'm going to take the last word.
All we're talking about is a wrong turn.
I'm going to take the last word on it. At the very least, our government should be forcing a very, very swift hearing. This is way too long, 60 days on something like this. But anyway, I'm taking the last word. Gloria and Ted, thank you. And of course, we're going to stay on this case. We'll have much more right here on the record each night until Sergeant Tamarisi is back home. Also, you can keep the pressure on your government. Keep tweeting and posting using hashtag. Now, this is important. Use this hashtag, Marine held in Mexico. So